हेलो फ्रेंड्स, जय जगन्नाथ। आज आमे एसएसबी बॉटनी पाई जेनेटिक्स टॉपिक उपरे किछिटा इंपोर्टेंट एमसीक्यू डिस्कस करिबा। बेसिकली सेटा रहइबो मेंडेल्स लॉ ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस उपरे। तो क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 होची मेंडेल्स लॉ ऑफ सेग्रीगेशन states that option A, dominant alleles are always expressed over recessive alleles. Option B, alleles of different genes assort independently during gamete formation. Option C, alleles of a gene separate or segregate during gamete formation. Option D, the phenotype of an organism is determined solely by its genotype. The answer of option C, alleles of a gene separate or segregate during gamete formation. Next होची when Mendel crossed true breeding yellow seeded peas with true breeding green seeded peas, the F1 generation produced all yellow seeded peas, all green seeded peas, all yellow seeded peas in a 3:1 ratio with green seeded peas, or all green seeded peas in a 3:1 ratio with yellow seeded peas. तो यार आंसर होगा ऑप्शन ए, all yellow seeded peas. Next, Mendel's law of independent assortment states that option A, genes located on the same chromosome are inherited together. Option B, alleles of different genes segregate independently of one another during gamete formation. Option C, dominant alleles always mask recessive alleles. Option D, genetic traits are inherited in a continuous spectrum. तो मेंडल्स लॉ ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट असर्टमेंट कौन कहे ना ऑप्शन बी, alleles of different genes segregate independently of one another during gamete formation. Next question, which of the following best explains the term dominant allele? Option A, an allele that is always expressed in the phenotype. Option B, an allele that is only expressed in the presence of another specific allele. Option C, an allele that is only present in heterozygous condition. Option D, an allele that is masked by the presence of another allele. तो ये होगा ऑप्शन ए, an allele that is always expressed in the phenotype. Next होची क्वेश्चन नंबर 5. In a monohybrid cross of two heterozygous parents, what is the probability of producing a homozygous recessive offspring? तो it होगा 25% or 50% or 75% or 100%. आंसर होगा 25%. Next, what is the expected phenotypic ratio of a dihybrid cross between two individuals heterozygous for both traits? Suppose capital Y small y, capital R small r when crossed with capital Y small y and capital R small r. तो एठी हमको कौन पचारछि ना सिंपली हमको डाइहाइब्रिड क्रॉस रो फिनोटाइपिक रेशियो पचारछि बास. तो कौन हबो ऑप्शन ए 9:3:3:1 और 3:1 और 1:2:1 और 1:1. डाइहाइब्रिड क्रॉस रो फिनोटाइपिक रेशियो कौन? ऑप्शन ए 9:3:3:1. Next, Mendel's experiment with pea plants revealed that traits are inherited as option A, blended characters. Option B, continuous variations. Option C, discrete units. Option D, environmental adaptations. तो इधर आंसर कौन होगा ना ऑप्शन सी, discrete units. Next, which term describes an organism that has two identical alleles for a particular trait? Heterozygous, homozygous, dominant, recessive. टू आइडेंटिकल alleles कौन हम ना ऑप्शन बी homozygous. Next होची if a pea plant with genotype capital R small r for round seeds is crossed with a pea plant with genotype small r wrinkled seeds, what percentage of the offspring will have round seeds? 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%. एठी हमको कौन कहिछि ना टेस्ट क्रॉस विषय रे कहिछि तो टेस्ट क्रॉस रो रेशियो कोन 1:1 टेस्ट क्रॉस कैपिटल आर स्मॉल आर माने F1 जनरेशन प्लस रिसेसिव होमोजाइगस पेरेंट्स को भीतर बेस दैट इज स्मॉल आर तो कौन हबो 1:1 माने 50% हबो तो आंसर हबो जो स्मॉल आर रो परसेंटेज भी 50% हबो राउंड सीड्स रो परसेंटेज भी 50% ही हबो देखो तो क्रॉस को टाइप रो हबो एठी द क्रॉस बिटवीन कैपिटल आर स्मॉल आर ए प्लांट विथ हेटेरोजाइगस कंडीशन फॉर राउंड सीड्स एंड small r a plant with homozygous recessive condition with wrinkled seeds will produce two types of genotypes in progeny, capital R and small r in equal proportions. तो आंसर से हबो ऑप्शन सी 50%. नेक्स्ट होची when Mendel crossed a true breeding purple flower pea plant with a true breeding white flower pea plant, all the offspring in the F1 generation had purple flowers. What can be concluded about the inheritance of flower color in pea plants based on this result? Option A. Purple flower color is dominant over white flower color. Option B. White flower color is dominant over purple flower color. Option C. Flower color is determined by a blend of purple and white traits. Option D. Flower color is not inherited according to Mendel's law. तो से कौन कही ना ट्रू ब्रीडिंग पर्पल फ्लावर्ड पी प्लांट को जिते ट्रू ब्रीडिंग व्हाइट फ्लावर्ड पी प्लांट सहित क्रॉस कर दे सब गुड़ाक F1 जेनेरेशन रे पर्पल फ्लावर्स आसे तो को रीजन पे आसे ना सिंपली ऑप्शन ए पर्पल फ्लावर कलर इज डोमिनेंट ओवर व्हाइट फ्लावर कलर पर्पल फ्लावर कलर डोमिनेंट होइथिबा जगु हमको सबुथिरे F1 जेनेरेशन नो सबुथिरे पर्पल फ्लावर कलर ही शो हुए. नेक्स्ट which of the following statements best describes the genotype of an individual with the phenotype of dominant trait? Option A. Homozygous dominant, heterozygous, homozygous recessive, cannot be determined. यार आंसर ऑलरेडी शो होउतला ऑप्शन ए homozygous dominant. आपण मन को जोठी भी दरकार आपण माने स्क्रीनशॉट नै परिबे. Next, Mendel's law of segregation explains the behavior of option A. Alleles of different genes during gamete formation. Option B. Alleles of the same gene during gamete formation. Option C. Genes located on the same chromosome. Option D. Genes located on different chromosome. तो यार आंसर कौन ना ऑप्शन बी alleles of the same gene during gamete formation. Next, in a dihybrid cross, if the genes are located on different chromosomes, what is the expected phenotypic ratio of the F2 generation? Option A 9:3:3:1. Option B 3:1. ऑप्शन सी 1:2:1. ऑप्शन डी 1:1. तो से हम कौन पचारछि ना डाइहाइब्रिड क्रॉस रो फिनोटाइपिक रेशियो तो कौन होबो ना ऑप्शन ए 9:3:3:1. नेक्स्ट, Mendel's experiments with pea plants provided evidence that option A traits are inherited through blending of characteristics. B. Traits are inherited independently of each other. Option C. Traits are determined by environmental factors only. Option D. Traits are not inherited in a predictable manner. तो यार आंसर कौन होगा ना ऑप्शन बी ट्रेड्स आर इनहेरिटेड इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ ईच अदर नेक्स्ट होची which term refers to alternative forms of a gene that occupy the same locus on homologous chromosomes option A alleles option B phenotypes option C genotypes option D chromatids same locus on homologous chromosomes. Genes that occupy same locus on homologous chromosomes are known as what? Option A alleles. Next, when Mendel crossed true breeding yellow seeded peas with true breeding green seeded peas, all the offspring in the F1 generation had yellow seeds. What can be inferred about the genotype of the F1 plants? All were homozygous dominant, all were homozygous recessive, all were heterozygous or cannot be determined from the given information. Correct answer कौन होगा all were heterozygous. F1 generation में कौन आसीबो ना सब गुड़ाक heterozygous आसीबो. Next, if two heterozygous purple flowered pea plants capital P small p are crossed, what is the probability of obtaining a homozygous recessive small p offspring? 0%, 25%, 50% or 75%? It have answer option B 25%. Next, which of the following statements is true regarding Mendel's law of segregation? It explains the independent assortment of genes located on the same chromosome. It states that alleles of different genes segregate independently during gamete formation. It describes the separation of homologous chromosomes during anaphase 1 of meiosis. It explains how alleles of a gene separate and move into different gametes during meiosis. Mendel's law of segregation कौन कहे ना it explains how alleles of a gene separate and move into different gametes during meiosis. Next होची if a pea plant with genotype capital A small a is crossed with another pea plant with genotype small a, what is the probability of producing an offspring with the genotype small a 0%, 25%, 50% or 100%? तो ये कौन हबो ना ऑप्शन सी 50%. Next, if a homozygous dominant pea plant is crossed with a homozygous recessive pea plant, what will be the genotype of the F1 generation? Capital P, capital P, capital P, small p, small p, small p cannot be determined. तो ये कौन हबो ना capital P, small p. Next, Mendel's law of independent assortment applies to genes that are located on the same chromosome, unlinked and located on different chromosome, linked and located close together on the same chromosome. Option D, part of the same genetic pathway. So, Mendel's law of independent assortment applies to genes that are unlinked and located on different chromosomes. आज पे एतिकी ही थिला. थैंक यू.